When people hear under the influence, they think intoxicated, but here it means something deeper. Here it means being moved by stories, being inspired by greatness, and being influenced by the ones shifting culture forward. The mic isn't for noise, it's for impact. The space isn't for fame, it's for purpose. But today's episode is a little different. Instead of sitting across from a guest, today the conversation turns inward. I'm taking a moment to reflect on the journey since launching the show, the lessons I've learned along the way, and what it really takes to build something meaningful from the ground up. This is Under the Influence. Hi guys, I'm back. And as you can see, there is no guest. So you guys are getting under the influence of me. And I'm under the weather, as you can hear in my voice. But it was imperative that this video came out. And just so I can update you guys on where I am, where I've been, and where I've come from. Okay, and because we're all on this journey together, when I created the show Under the Influence, I wanted to leave my audience with something. But you doing this show has left me with a whole new life. I've been elevated. I've been in new rooms, and I'm going to tell you guys all the gems that I've gathered, and hopefully it influences you to take that step to change your life for the better. Child, releasing the first episode, I thought God is going to blow it up instantly. The people are going to see the change instantly, but nothing happens instantly. Even in life, you don't just instantly go to school and you get everything. You know, it takes 4 years. It takes 10 years. Put in my 10,000 hours. So I'm learning to really do the work and what the work means. Because imagine if I just arrived without going through those 4 months in the school of J. Imagine if I just came up here and then I'm sitting on the couch with Gail King and she asked me, Debria, so how'd you get here? And I'm just like, bat's eyelashes, blank stare. And it's like, no, when I'm doing the work and I'm in these new rooms and feeling uncomfortable, and that just adds to the journey. And then it makes me reflect on me. Where do I need to build up more at? And then whenever I tell the story to other people, they're able to, oh, she was in the same position as me. She had a dream just like me. And this is how she did it. So expectations after the launch. I really didn't have any expectations, and that was the problem. If you don't have any expectations, where are you going? You're just getting in your car driving. I didn't put anything in the GPS. And that's what I learned. Always have intention. When I have Whitney on my show, or when I have Chantrell on my show, be intentional. These people have built their brands. Took years to build up who they are today. And it was an honor to have them say, yeah, take a chance on this new girl, Debria Love, who just had her intro into podcasting, even though Angela Yee told me 3 years ago to start a podcast. And I'm like, hey, better late than never, right? Two main challenges that I faced when building the show independently is, number one is quality over quantity. I'm used to whenever I had behind the brand, I'm episodes back to back to back to back, but no quality. They even say that in the Bible. It's quality over quantity. Okay? And having the quality of the guests, because when I have the guests, it's always leading up to something. Before, I would just do something just to do it and not know what I wanted to do. In 10 years, when I look back on this, where was it taking me? Is it going to take me to the atmosphere in the rooms or the red carpets that I truly want to be on in the future? So just being more intentional and being very strategic. All right, and the second challenge I faced, I don't know what to call it, but I was expecting instant gratification. That's what I was going to say. So instant gratification. And I'm learning, like I said, like doing the work, getting the knowledge, getting the strategy. So when I come across a problem, I know I have the strategy already because I did this before. So now I know how to navigate it much better than I would have if I've never got the knowledge. Learning how to grow as a host and a journalist, I first had to learn how to grow as Debria, because you know, they always say personal and business don't go together, but that's not true. Everything is personal, and it starts within. And what kind of person, how did I want to show up? When people meet me, what is the energy that I want to leave them with? So I really had to work on myself and realize, like, there was I need to show up on time. I need to get better time management in all areas. I need to get more if I say I want to do this, I need to research and know what I'm talking about when I get in front of these rooms. Just being more educated, doing that shadow work. So when I show up, it's like my mama always told me, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And in addition to that, like before,
my guests, I would just sit down and we just talking based off of anything. I'm just pulling anything out of thin air, and we're just sitting there talking, no intention. But it's like I wanna. I have the dream to have Under the Influence at the CMA Awards. I want them to come and invite us. Hey, BT, we want to have Under the Influence there. Like, I have to really be intentional and be a real journalist. So now I take a week to study my guests. Before they get on my show, I know what I'm talking about because I took that week long to study them and to ask questions. First, I ask the question, and then I take that question deeper, and then that's the question I'll use for my guests. Just so it's not no simple one-ended answer. I want to know the why. What influenced you to change your life for real? In order to do that, I have to study their story. What surprised me the most about stepping fully into the spotlight is it took those people a long time, years, to get there. They didn't just show up. It took a long time for them to get to where they are. And before, I always thought like it was just instant. I thought it was like magic, but the magic is like real life faith plus work equals success. And a lot of people got the faith, but nobody want to do the work. I ain't want to do the work. Child. The responsibility for creating a platform for meaningful voices first comes from just being a vessel and putting myself last and putting my viewer first. What can they get from this? Like when I sit down and I watch Lisa Nichols on TV, or when I watch Les Brown on TV, they leave me they put their heart on the floor. It touches me. It inspires me to get up and be great. So whenever I'm doing this for a young Black journalist like me out there, when she sees this episode, she's like, oh, that's what goes into it. That's how we do it. Just making the dream more real, more tangible, and growing my confidence on camera. See, I thought I was good, and sometimes you have to look yourself in the mirror and maybe I'm just okay. And child, I was just okay because second episode with Corey, y'all, I edited it really good. You would have never known, but I was a deer in headlights. It was so I was like, oh my gosh. And then Cruz behind the camera, Corey was telling him this really impactful story, and I was like, why couldn't I get that out of him whenever I had him sitting down as my guest? He over here spilling his whole life after we just shut the cameras off. So as a journalist, that I could do better. And I know, and I know just can't rely on my personality, and that's kind of what I tried to do on that episode, and you can see it stiff as a board. But then I was able to watch Whitney Miller film her solo podcast, and the way she was just able to be so expressive and free and add her personality and have the substance too. Because before, I always thought you had to have one and you couldn't have the other. If I had my personality, then I couldn't dig deep and add that substance to it. But after watching Whitney, I was like, oh. And also and just practicing it, because I would say I would want something, and then I think it would just be magic for it to happen. I think God would just bless me with it. But you really have to work. I have to practice my questions in the mirror, see how it looks when I'm talking. Ask the questions to people around me. Is this a good question? Did you feel that? Would you be able to answer that, get something out of that? And be open to the feedback, be open to being a student and being a forever learning, because life is always teaching you if you pay attention. Some of the challenges that I faced from doing this show is I would try to hold on to my old pictures. I used to do photo shoots. You can go on the page now, they're no longer there. And Jay was telling me, you need to take those off. But I was like, they have the numbers. I was so consumed with the numbers. They have the likes and all these comments. And I lost an interview with a model, IMG model. She was walking on Chanel. She's in Mulan. And I had the opportunity to interview her. And they looked at that page, child, and they didn't get no response. And I was like, so what? No response? What does no response mean? And they were like, we've never had this happen before. I'm like, oh, what? When you're in kindergarten, you're going to the first grade. You have to learn some new skills, become a new person, take the test to be able to pass through to the next level. And that's what I had to do. And I had some people in my corner telling me, and I'm thinking, no, I can do it. I can do it with those pictures on my page. I can still become the journalist that I need to become while still holding on to the old Debria. But it's the door is only meant for the new Debria to come through. And that was a real hard lesson with myself. I had to look at myself, look at my page and be like, where can I go from here with the content that I was doing, what do I need to change? Maybe I do need to listen to them. And I listen to them, y'all, and my life has been elevated. I have people coming up to me, I see the show. The show looks good. Now they seeing it, I'm seeing it, and I am in the state of becoming. And I didn't realize how hard it would be to discover what I want. I'm still scared to say I kind of don't know either what I want still, but I like the journey that I'm on, and I'm having to surrender to God and get the input. What does He want me to do? Because Debria, I had this idea, and I got turned down. So how do you want me to use my voice? What do you want me to leave the audience with? So, and I'm sitting here still letting you guys know I don't know what I want, but I did know I wanted to do this episode today, and to just break that fourth wall. Like, nobody's perfect. Sometimes you're in a gym. Another struggle that I realized, y'all, having uncomfortable conversations to make sure your team is all on one accord. See, I'm the type, I'm just thinking, hey, let's just all push through. Okay, let's just all push through. We don't need to talk about it, but if you care about, I care about my team. I care about the people that I'm working with because they're taking the time and the energy out of their day to come and help me. And also, I got to be serious about my show. I was just treating my show like a stepkid. Like, this is my baby. This is my child. I got to step into the role as the creator of the show and be able to make sure my team is all on one accord. And it was very, very scary for me because I am a people pleaser. Conflict scares me, but what you don't confront will consume you. So, and then like after having that, I realized, hey, it wasn't so bad. And now everything is peaceful and we're all smooth sailing. So some pivots that I have taken creatively is with the show Under the Influence. I wanted us to have drinks. And we're getting under the influence of the drinks and the person. But I realized quickly, me and alcohol have a very toxic relationship. Okay? And also using that, once again, like how I used to rely on my personality. I'm relying on the alcohol to bring out more of my personality, to ask my guests more interesting questions and thinking alcohol is going to be the reason to get me there. But after talking with my team, we pivoted quickly. Even though I was opposed, it was like, we're not going to have you drink on camera. And it's been much better ever since. And also, your girl got a DUI, and it has wrecked my life. I thought, how they say you can speak things over your life. I thought naming my show Under the Influence was the reason I got pulled over. So now, when people think under the influence, you may think intoxicated, but actually we're getting under the influence of the person. The person is the influence. We're getting intoxicated on Whitney's grit. Whenever if you watched her episode, she is a bad ass, a bad mama jamma. She went from being an athlete to fighting tigers in Thailand to being a Miss United States. It's like, and when y'all watch that, I want you to show you can pivot. Speaking of pivot, she's the queen of pivots. You can do anything. It's literally your life. You create it. I'm pivoting from my DUI to Under the Influence. Okay. We don't live in the valleys, okay? We're rising above. You make a mistake, you can always pivot. You can always learn. And I'm still here showing up for you guys today. A win that reminded me that the show is working and it's different and people see the elevation is when I go out in public. My girl, Hey Nicole, said, I see the show. It's giving elevated. I said, elevated? When you guys look Under the Influence, I want you guys to think elevated. So when I'm in like editing in the dark for hours and then I'm putting it out, I'm just biting my nails. When y'all tell me that, and in person, it's like, it's just like not the validation, but it's the confirmation that, okay, what you're doing is one of the hardest part about producing this show is, that being vulnerable, even right here in this moment, breaking down that wall, being afraid to not be seen in a certain light or how people perceive me, being afraid to fail, and taking that learning curve and not letting it hurt my ego and define me as a person, because this is just what I do. It's not who I am. It's a part of who I am, but it's not the whole behind the scenes moment from a previous guest. I'm gonna let y'all in. I'm gonna piggyback more off of the Corey episode. Every second counts when you get in this chair, and I didn't do the work. I showed up, y'all. Oh my God, it was so embarrassing. I knew I did not do the work. Yeah, and also having the lipstick drilling on my chin. Y'all know y'all put your lip gloss on, and then I don't know if you got big lips like me, but the bottom be down here and it's greasy. Then you watching it back, and that's all I can see when I play it back and when I watch it back. Let's talk about the guests. Starting with Corey. That's a smooth talker right there, a Pisces. Corey is a self-starter and a mogul. And I was just inspired by, whenever I asked him, I said, so when you have to break down these walls, he said, hey, if you're meant to be there, you don't even have to break down the walls. It can just come in real smooth. And that kind of took that pressure off my shoulders. Like, oh, maybe you don't have to be so grr. And maybe the door just need a little push to open up. And maybe just need to relax and the doors will be open. Whitney taught me that life is mine, and I can create my life. I can literally do anything that I put my mind to, and do it ugly, do it unafraid, and just to see a woman with like so much confidence as her, and she still like has self-doubt, but she does it anyway. You do it anyhow, no matter, regardless. So I love that about her. And my thing that I learned the most from Chantrell. She has so many gems in there. Being a student of the game, doing a lot of the stuff for free. If you want to be in the room, make sure you're in that room. And when you get in that room, be quiet. Observe first until you have something to add, until you have a company that you want to produce, okay? Chantrell and Kyle. Andrea Vasquez, just know, breaking down the barriers, beating the stereotypes. They try to box her in, and she would literally say, you know what? No. She like to say no to the opportunity that could possibly give you that fame, but being genuine and having that integrity to yourself. That was very beautiful to see in her interview. Billy Brown's episode is coming up next month, and I am clenching the seats, you guys. I am ready for you guys to see that one, because that one really blew my mind. And he talked about money. And, if you grew up in the church, money is evil. That story, the rich man ain't gonna make it to heaven because he loves all his goods. But in Billy's episode, he said money is agnostic. You are basically the controller of your money. If you're evil, then your money's going to be evil. But if you're good, your money's going to be good. And it's all a mindset thing. You don't chase, you attract. And are you good? Are you great? And are you elite? And I learned from me, child, I'm okay. I'm getting to be good. And old me would have never been able to say that. And so I just realized that, and that's not a destination. It's just where I'm at right now. And if I am aware of that, I can ask people, I can ask crews, hey, can you help me shoot my video instead of me shooting it myself? Hey, Jay, can you write out my show instead of me writing out myself? I may not be the strongest in that. And then once you come together, you get something amazing. So outside of my podcast, you guys know I've been doing YouTube for, I think since I was 12. And then me and my sister had our YouTube. I know some of y'all know me from there. And I've been doing this work for a long time, and it just comes so easy to me. And then when I got tested in the real world, because it came so easy for me, I was like, okay, I'll just do it for that. Until I had a real good friend set me down and say, no, you're getting blackballed, undervalued, underhanded. I cried, guys. I did. I cried. I was like, what? Wow. And then a piece of me also didn't feel worthy, because it did come easy to me that maybe my work ethic did need some change before I was able to go up another level. So I had to sit with myself and be like, Debria, you are a little lazy. You do let stuff pass by you, and you are a little passive aggressive. So you need to work on that stuff first, and then I'll feel like I'll be able to stand up stronger when it comes to naming my value. And I am learning my value currently. And to my creatives out there, my advice to you is know your skill set, know what the market value is, and add some tax to that. And then make sure you also you do the work ethic. You're able to be an expert. Be an expert at what you do. Create those boundaries. Come in. Think of yourself as a business. You are a business. You are an entity. Because the worst thing that can do is get a bad reputation about you. You have to put a value on your time because you always want to be in alignment. You always want to make sure everything is alignment and be more intentional with your life, you guys, because I didn't realize that we only get one life. This is our life. We have to be very intentional with it. Where do I want to go? Is this getting me to the next level? Is this is this knowledge that I need is gonna help me up level to get bigger and better clients and more clients? And if it's not, you gotta go. So you won't have to experience that burnout. And also, you don't have to do everything. I should be saying that to myself. You don't have to do everything, Debria. I would spread myself so thin because if you be everything for everybody, you're going to be nothing at all. Reclaiming my power and my voice as a creative, I feel like it's something I'm learning because the idea I had was not true. When I got in these rooms and I really sat down and I got behind the smoke and the mirrors, it's actually real work behind there. So I would say with knowing my power, I'm still learning it. I know little bits and pieces, and also going to the power source, learning who my source is. I got a better relationship with God this year, and new circles and new people. New people, y'all, will give you a whole new outlook on life. They say if you hang around 5 winners, you're gonna become another winner. The sixth winner, I'm becoming the 6th winner, and it's like their conversations are totally different. And usually I'm like the loud one, the life of the party, but I find myself these days I'm more quiet, and I'm more listening and taking it in, and I feel so hungry too. When I get home, I'm like, how can I do that? How can whenever I come to these spaces, how can I attract that energy into me? And when they sit down, I'm like, oh, well, what do you do? I could be able to, hey, I do this, and this. And like I want to get that. And like I'm in the learning phase right now of seeing what that's all about and seeing what that means for me. I think building my own platform is important right now because they wasn't finna give it to me. Like, you know how you pray and then you just freeze and you wait for God to bless you. Shout out to Pastor Mike. This is in one of his lessons in becoming. And you just freeze and wait for God to bless you. No, you got to do the work now and build up something. Like imagine if I just said, God, hey, I want to launch a podcast and stopped it right there. God gave me Cruz. God gave me Jay. And it was up to me to put those pieces. God wanted to see me put the pieces together. He's like, okay, I see what you're doing. Now I'm going to bless you with more guests. I'm going to bless you with more and more. Because I'm doing the work. I'm getting the strategy. We need other creatives. I think we just all need we need a support group, honestly. But advice I would give to you guys is be open to the feedback. And if somebody corrects you, it doesn't always mean they're trying to tear you down. Some of it is constructive criticism. And sit with yourself. Like, you know what you need to do. Take the gems out and discard the rest and apply it. And if you really want to be a model, study modeling. If you really want to be a journalist, study journalists in your area. Meet with them. Hey, I'd like to have coffee with you. Pick your brain. How would you pick your brain? How'd you get there? And actually be intentional too when you reach out to these people. When you get around these journalists, like I had the opportunity to meet Marcus Dowling. Y'all, let me tell y'all, when I first went up to him, he said, I know who you are. Do you know who that is? Do you know who that is? That's Johnny Cash's son. And I was like, oh, you want to talk about mama? I was like, oh, I'm not a real journalist. He knew who everybody in that room was. And that was just so inspiring. And then also to see him at his Culture at Large show. And just the intentionality. He knows a little bit about everything. And I got the opportunity to talk to him on the phone. And he was telling me he spends 25 minutes a day looking at all the news. He forms his opinion and then he moves on. And just seeing somebody be a real scholar of the game, getting like knee deep into the game and really loving what they do. They made it a part of their whole life. And to see how it has been successful, you can tell that he loves journalism. You can tell that he's in the right field. He's aligned and he has intention behind what he's doing. And that was very inspiring for me because I said, oh, I got work to do. Do I really? And then it made me think, do you really want to do this, Debria? And I know I do. I just got to get past that laziness. Working on this year, I had a big goal of being a girl. I had a goal to go from a girl who was validated by outside people to a woman who is validated by her hard work and reputation. So I want to go from seeking validation to having that internal confidence. And the difference is when I was seeking validation, my confidence or my worthiness will be up to people, instead of already coming in, having that price tag and this is my price. But with internal confidence, I'm learning when I have that internal confidence because I did the work. I know why I charge this much. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm bringing to the table. It's a different air. When you step into the room, I'm stepping into the room, I'm a magnet. It's coming to me rather than before I was scoping out who do I need to talk to? Who's going to come talk to me first? But now I know why I'm there. And once you know your why, it's only up from there. And also, like, speaking to my younger self, I would always just wish for it to happen. But now I actually have the skills to make it happen. And that to me has been so mind-blowing. Since December, since when I first recorded my first episode to now, and just learning, like, just finally being able, it is possible. I am going to get there. I am going to get to where I need to be. And before, that was like having this show on Netflix. But now that's not even, I'm going to let God handle that. Wherever the show end up, I just want to be a great Debria. I want to do the work. I want to keep continuing to learn and to putting myself first, cutting off the bad habits. Because when you're striving on this journey, whenever I had to tell myself, no, I can't go out, it almost felt like it was hurting me and I was betraying myself. Because before I would always go off my feelings, but sometimes your feelings will hold you back. Your feelings are the ones you need to break and to get that discipline to go where I want to go and be great. Instead of going out, I'm gonna stay at home and study my interviews and get ready for the guests that I'm gonna have coming on the show. Speaking of, they're super, super dope. I want to tell you guys right now who it is, but you just have to come back for the episode to see. And guys, we've been under the influence. Are you influenced?